Imagine launching your luxury wine product, an expensive rose from Napa Valley, on Princess Diana's birthday. Not to any day, not a random Tuesday or some clever marketing date, but the birthday of her deceased mother-in-law. Princess Diana would be disgusted by you, like this idea Harry always puts out. You know, when someone pulls a move so tone-deaf, you wonder if it was done on purpose. That's exactly what Meghan Markle just did. Meghan would have been adored by Diana. No, Meghan didn't just quietly release this wine either. She made sure it included a glowing article in Hello magazine, a soft-focus photo shoot, and heartfelt soundbites about how much she wishes she knew Diana. Really, people aren't upset about the date. It's the entire presentation. Meghan is always trying to distance herself from the royal family, but somehow this time, the plan is extremely clear. When it comes time to sell anything, use every royal link you can. Allow the emotional burden to do the hard work by associating her brand with Diana, the most adored royal figure of the contemporary period. According to the press release, this wine drop was even an homage to Diana Deliberate Dan, who is releasing the rose as usual and will utilize Princess Diana to get attention, as she has done with Diana Sitz. Not like Diana's legacy hasn't been pulled at enough already. She's been featured in movies, discussed in interviews, and mentioned in public innumerable times. However, this move was unique because it wasn't a memoir or documentary. Rather, it was a product launch featuring a wine bottle and a glamorous poolside photo. The idea was obviously to draw a line between the legacy of a princess and additionally. Meghan has been rather outspoken about her purported relationship to Diana, despite never having met her. She has previously stated that she sensed her presence and that Diana would have been happy of their love story. This is where things get even uglier. Okay? Alright, but to use that hazy emotional connection as a sales pitch feels like going too far. And to be honest, a lot of people believe it's not only tone-deaf, but also manipulative. But here's the worst part. The royal family has made it clear that they do not want Diana's memory to be commercialized. Prince William has stated publicly that he does not want his mother's birthday to be used for the sale of lifestyle items. And it is not just him. Harry also agreed in the past that Diana should be remembered in a dignified and quiet manner rather than being included in every publicity stunt. So what happened? And why is Harry now okay with this? To be honest, he had to be aware that Meghan couldn't have chosen that day without consulting him. He either agreed with it or remained silent, which may be worse. People are accusing him of being weak for not intervening and saying, hey, maybe we don't launch a wine line on the day my mother would have turned 64. Instead, it feels like he went along with it. July 1st is ingrained in both of their life, and many people are bothered by that. Twitter and tabloids aren't the only places receiving criticism. Royal insiders and former aid workers are also speaking out, calling it vile, vulgar, and calculated. This isn't because of the product itself. No one cares that Meghan is selling roses, but rather because of the way it's packaged as a sincere homage, when in fact it feels like a PR ploy with a bottle of wine on top. A deeper discomfort is also developing, and it has to do with how far someone is willing to go for something. Angela Levin didn't hold back when she called the entire situation twisted. And to be honest, that's not even the harshest word people are using. It's not just about bad taste anymore. It's beginning to look strategic, as Meghan knows. It hits differently when the memory of someone like Diana, who is unable to defend herself, is used as a marketing tool. It feels like the rules of decency are being rewritten one product drop at a time, just which nerves to prod. Some are even questioning whether the entire purpose of the wine launch was to agitate Prince William, who has made it clear that he wants seclusion about his mother's memory. Meghan's decision to drop this on Diana's birthday seems like a calculated attempt to shake the palace and show that this isn't an isolated incident. Meghan has been utilizing Diana's memory or image as emotional currency for some time now. When she and Harry were engaged, she kept claiming that she felt Diana watching over them. Then, during the Oprah interview, Diana's name reappeared, portraying her as a spiritual ally to Meghan's struggles. However, we've moved from emotional illusions to product promotion, which is a whole new level of exploitation. Those who have closely followed Meghan are pointing out the manipulation, citing the way she has discussed Diana as though they had a shared bond. During a yoga session, she revealed to Harry that his mother was there, encouraging them as if Diana's ghosts were there. These aren't only spiritual remarks. They're instruments to establish a bond with Harry that transcends love and fosters emotional dependence. This type of thing might give someone the impression that they are preserving a legacy, rather than considering how it is being utilized, and it is effective. Harry hasn't intervened when Diana's name is spoken or when the truth is that these aren't coincidences. Their daughter Liette is featured in promotional commercials with faintly similar themes. Keep in mind that the toy bag Liette was carrying was from the same company Princess Charlotte earlier posed with. Critics are referring to Meghan's PR machine as the copycat effect, since every picture, mention, and release is well planned and timed, like Kate wore in a picture that went viral, or clothing her children in attire reminiscent of the camouflages. People are angry because Meghan appears to be operating a shadowy version of royal life that is commercial, has a logo, a price tag, and is being carried out under the pretense of freedom and empowerment, while yet profiting from the royal brand. In the meanwhile, Harry appears disoriented. He is no longer the brash, rebellious prince. Instead, he is slender, silent, and impersonal in public. Appearances, he appears to be minimally present in some recent event footage, which has increased conjecture regarding his emotional state, mental health, and lengthy history of drug use. His loved ones are beginning to speak out what others have been whispering for years. Reports of Harry's prior overdoses of covert interventions suggest that he may be in serious trouble, since he never properly addressed with his trauma when a teenager spiraled. Palace staff were scared to tell Prince Charles how bad things were, because Perry allegedly threatened to fire them if they snitched. Now, decades later, it seems like that spiral never completely stopped. Instead, it simply went private and into that mess. Some call Meghan's vision boards, branded jam jars, and birthday rose homage ambitious, while others call it callous. But there's no denying that it's she's selling more than just wine. It's a distorted version of history. People who knew Harry before claim that he was always emotionally fragile, that he masked his grief with bravado, that he partied too hard, that he drank too much, and that he never really learned how to process his feelings. This idea that Harry is a victim of his own decisions, that he voluntarily handed over control of his life, his image, and even his voice that pain from Mom's passing had never healed. Not only did Meghan manage to wrap it up in gentle words and spiritual affirmations that made her seem like the savior, but she also positioned herself as the only person who truly understood Diana, and who, in her own words, could sense her presence. This kind of language matters because it gives Harry the impression that being with Meghan is like being closer to his mother. And when Eura McGann has now taken that concept to market, if you've spent your whole adult life looking for serenity, that type of emotional framing is dangerously seductive. It becomes your truth whether it's true or not. Meghan is not just selling wine, she is also selling nostalgia. Diana is no longer merely a guiding spirit in private discussions. She is also a sales tool, a quiet endorsement from beyond the grave that gives a business plan weight and emotional depth. Glass that combines pain and royalty. Even if it was based on emotional manipulation, it's not unexpected that it sold out. In a matter of hours, since individuals were purchasing more than just wine, they were purchasing a piece of something precious. Meanwhile, the media is consuming the tale because it has several layers: drama, betrayal by monarchy, and business. The circus continues to feed itself. Meghan claims that her wine business has nothing to do with scarcity, yet that's precisely the story being The public is being played with emotional cues disguised as lifestyle branding. And Harry is the only one who didn't say, "No, not this date, not my mother." But he didn't. Too many, his silence speaks louder than any press release ever could. Pushed, limited drops, high demand, sold out in hours, every detail is planned. Every picture, every caption, every carefully placed article in InStyle or Hello Magazine. People who used to support Harry are starting to sound different. And even the mainstream media, which previously skirted Harry's problems, is starting to acknowledge that the cracks are too wide to ignore the awkward body language, the distracted stares, and the stories of drug use that were once whispered but are now being echoed by those who were there. He is either totally checked out or so far influenced by Meghan that he no longer has the will or the clarity to object. Former pals and royal staff biographers themselves are admitting what they have known for years. Harry has been in survival mode since he was in his teens, and therapy and marriage don't make it go away, especially when your spouse keeps bringing up the same trauma you're trying to get over and then turning around and making money off of it. The public is getting weary of seeing a royal couple repeat the same story over and over again. Anticipate that others will believe it. Meghan's personal and professional brand is beginning to resemble performance rather than empowerment. The irony is that although she likely believes she is playing the long game, she is actually using Diana to support a brand that is pushing Harry further into emotional dependency and passing it off as a heartfelt tribute. This is not strategy. Rather, it is exploitation with a pretty label. And at the center of it all is Harry. The former prince of the people is used as a prop in his own wife's creation.